Hey YouTube, Jeff here from the YouTube channel The Wolf of Wisco. Just got back home here with another Subaru I picked up on Facebook Marketplace. This one has a no start condition, cranks but no start. I guess you can spray carb cleaner or starting fluid inside the intake and it'll fire, and we're going to figure out what's wrong with this one. This one's got a turbo. You see a little vent up there? That's for the intercooler. Let's check it out. This is an 07 model. It's pretty good shape, real straight. Maybe a couple little dings on it. And I notice it's got the stainless, I don't know what that's hanger for, but it's got a stainless steel exhaust system on this baby. Tires are decent tread, pretty deep yet, no rust, pretty good shape, great interior. We'll get into the inside after I get it off, but it's got a kind of a nice little sunroof. Yeah, it's set for the winter. The diagnosis was fuel pump is what the guy thought it was, but after some work he said it's not the fuel pump, so I'm gonna dig into it. But it sat all winter, and when he went to start it this spring, here it's May already here in Wisconsin, but he went to start it and there was a no start, so we're gonna check it out. Getting the tires aired up. Give them a little winch set up. Kind of nice on these Subarus, they got a hook right here you can hook onto. Pull that. All right, first things first, the battery's only at 34%, so I got that charging here. I got a fuel pressure gauge that I can tap into the high pressure fuel line right here if I'd like, right about here, right after the Yep, she's only running about 15 PSI on the gauge. Looks like it's probably one of the fuel pumps. I don't know if this is the main fuel pump on the right-hand side, passenger side. I don't know if this is a fuel sending unit or another pump, although it's got some connections. I'll check into this one, but first I'm gonna try hooking up my Bluetooth Autel to the OBD port here. I'm gonna hook this baby up if I can find the OBD. Well, that's hilarious. It's hanging right in front of me here. I'm looking for a port that's like mounted up in here. Thing is dangling, broke free or something. Anyway, I'll just hook right on. Well, I got the code reader here, and there's no engine codes on the engine control module, but I have a code here on the CAN system, which is the electronic wiring communication system. Check that fault code. Checking this out. CAN system, okay. Trouble code U1221. Passcode, what is this? CAN high-speed ECM, CAN HS, I don't know what that means. ECM no data receive. That's not good. Escape out of there. Let me go special function here. Fault location. What does that mean? Where it is? Communication line failure, ECM to integrated unit. I don't know. Or ECM failure. So the computer might be junk here. I can't clear anything. It won't let me. There's nothing to clear. It's just telling it's a weird code. I've never seen that one before. So that might be bad ECM. I don't know how to diagnose that. Looks like this pump has already been out here. It's got a broken screw right here. And the guy I bought it from said he had taken this fuel pump out and tested it out with another vehicle he had, another Subaru, and he said it did not fix the problem. So we got the fuel pump out of the vehicle, and it's got a crack right along this little edge there. Watch this. I'll touch power to it here, but I'll have the camera right here. that's why it's not getting pressure. Instead of replacing the entire fuel pump assembly that was quite expensive, I found a $19 fuel pump for that. So this is kind of weird. Here's the fuel pump assembly that goes in the gas tank. That's it, and I'll show you that in the back seat area. And then this whole cover slides over. But this fuel pump is got these little hooks, these little black hooks built onto this special pump here, right here. These little tabs. This pump slides up inside the housing right here. Well, it's got a crack down in here, and it's not sending fuel up this hose, this outlet hose. It takes fuel in the bottom, on the bottom of the gas tank. It runs up through this hose with an O-ring, and it's connected to come out this nozzle. Well, and that runs up to the engine. So this being broken is the reason. And this whole assembly at the dealership's $500, but this I found on auto parts store online for $20 shipped to my door. So that's the plan, is to, I bought one just now. I'm gonna try that and see how that goes. Going to the back side here, the back door, here is the fuel tank underneath the back seat. It's got gas in it. So anyway, this is where the fuel pump goes. I'm gonna put a cover over this just so it doesn't evaporate, but that's the gas tank right there. Okay, here's the new fuel pump. I took it out of the box earlier. There's the packaging. Looks like it's the same fittings. Yep, same connector, same base. This is where the filter goes on. Pop this filter on the bottom. And then this whole unit snaps into the cartridge housing here. The fuel pump, this big white assembly. And this is I believe this is kind of for slosh. Like fuel can get into here, and it's an area to draw fuel from. Anyway, that's got the fuel level sending unit on here for the car. And I got a couple O-rings that I got to reinstall. I'm going to go ahead and assemble, but the one down inside the tank, I'm going to put some grease on this, or down inside the housing here. Pull this plug off and pop that baby in. So let's get this installed. Down inside here is that O-ring deep in there. That's what this fitting right here is going to go on. I am going to put a little bit of grease on that. It locks in using these fingers right here. I believe, actually, I'm going to snap this connector on quick because we'll fish it down through here. Otherwise, I don't think I can get at it very well. There she went. Yep. That's also spring loaded, but that pump snapped in nice. Okay. Plug in right here. You can go one way. Snap that in. All right. The other one's for the sending unit. That's all captivated here inside. All right. And put some grease on that O-ring and that bore. Let's see how that goes. Oh yeah. Huh. Way better. Yep. Okay. This goes way down at the bottom here. You got grease around this O-ring. That's got to get down into the bottom, right down in here. So this whole assembly needs to snap together. This sits right on the bottom. That fuel filter snaps down, and we're gonna drop this in. Hard to see. You can't see it. So you don't know how it's going together. So this is snap together housing. There's 4 tabs. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all lined up. Let's push that down. Seemed to go pretty well. The last thing to plug in is this sender unit for the float, fuel level sender. That pops in right there. Everything up underneath. Let's go put it in the car. There we go. You got to put the float in first. Angle. So this is the bracket. It's kind of a pain because everything's in the way. Here's the electrical connector. Trying to put these last. There's no room to work in here. There we go. Okay. Now let's see if she's got fuel pressure. It's all hooked up, all three. I got 3 bolts holding that down. Let's turn the key and see if it's got fuel pressure. I'll put a gauge on. That's the gauge. I'm gonna key on and come back at it. All right, got a clamp on here. Cycled it, we're running 40 PSI. So I think we got it, guys. Let's see if it'll fire up. Clutch in. Running a little rough. They've been cranking on this thing for, guy went through 2 fuel pumps. Holding 40 PSI. Got a little bit of a shake to it. But it runs. I gotta check whether the spec is 35. It's a runner, man. $19 fuel pump. Got a code here. I'm gonna check that out and see what that is. But yeah, it runs. I'm gonna have to turn on the autel and figure out what's going on here. My check engine light went off over here, but it runs a little bit rough. Let me look at the codes here. We've got an engine code, ABS code, airbag code, CAN system code. Boy. Yes, trouble codes for the powertrain. Cylinder 3 misfire. Okay. I bolted everything down here. Put the screws back in and get this thing, back seat pop back in. Put on this thing. So I got the misfire code on this car, and I looked under the hood to get to the spark plugs. It was pretty tight in there. So I crawled underneath here, and up underneath the spark plugs are right here, and this connector, it's got a broken tab. You see it wiggles right here. It's got tab broken off. It falls right out. This was just hanging here. That's the number 3 cylinder misfire. So what I need to do is I'll probably put a little silicone on it because the tab's broken, or throw a zip tie around this connector to hold it in. I took it for a spin. This thing rips. It runs great. The turbo works great. Works running great on all 4 cylinders now. So that was it. Cleared all the codes. It's all cleaned up. You know, the code that I had for a bad computer or something, I believe that's this tuner. This tuner came with the car. It was plugged in up under the dash in the OBD port. Yeah, the car came with a tuner, and there's a tune in it, which means it's got an aftermarket calibration, and it's also got this aftermarket stainless steel exhaust system all the way back from the catalyst back. It's an actually aftermarket catalyst too. It's a little louder than I'd like, but really clean carpet. Just needs to be vacuumed, but it's not bad. And then I found this. I thought I'd show you this. Score ratchet straps, 2 sets. So those will be coming out because, yeah, those are mine. I think that wraps it up for this guy. Pretty sweet car. That's a sweet ride. For $19, we fixed this car with that fuel pump. I bought that fuel pump online and replaced it. Instead of replacing the entire fuel pump assembly, I just put the pump in itself, and that was it. We're running 35 psi, and she's a screamer. Thanks for watching, guys. That was a fun repair, quick and easy. That's my GMC motorhome right here. I'm going to do some episodes on that. Let me know if you want to see some more car flips. I like buying these mechanic specials and turning them around real quick. Let me know what you think. Thanks.